There I was at Harvard, in Cambridge, and people would always talk about, oh, well, you should get out into the city. Oh, but hold on, just make sure you don't go to these certain neighborhoods. And that was a very strange and unsettling message.
Growing up, I had a middle-class existence. When my neighborhood was mostly homeowners and mostly folks from the Caribbean.
Exposed again to a lot of different cultures. Military towns are always interesting. Not only Black people, but Latino, Asian, lots of mixed, lots of biracial families.
I taught at Cal State Fullerton for 10 years. I was in the American Studies department there, and I was also the chair of the African American Studies department. And then before that, I was at Union College in upstate New York for 5 years. And I was in the history department there.
Liz Jablecki showed up in Oceanside, introduced herself, and asked if I would ever consider going to college in New England. And she said, well, Erica, what do you have to lose except a little bit of time? Long story short, went to Harvard as an undergrad.
And for undergrad, I went to Stony Brook University in Long Island, which was also a great experience.
New York and Los Angeles are similar with respect to the fact that these are both extremely diverse cities. Each city is like the United Nations.
Jean Lang College is a lot like Oxy in the sense that the students were very conscious of issues of social justice and equity and diversity, and that's what I really loved about it. So I worked on community engagement projects, both curricular and extracurricular and co-curricular, and I also worked on all the diversity initiative for the college.
I was also really in love with studying higher ed and trying to understand what makes schools effective.
One of the issues that people of African descent have had to contend with in the United States is this gap between what is shown on screen and the complexity of the Black experience itself. So if voters vote solely based on what they see on screen, we can find ourselves in some pretty dicey territory.
It's important to have students not only talk about these things, but to experience it, to be there and to be able to see how they can make some change in the system.
I think the other piece that's really unique to my role here is saying, okay, I realize that not everybody thinks the same way. If we all thought the same way, somebody's not doing their job. Because the whole point of education is for us to hear different points of views. We're all from different backgrounds, we have different life experiences. It's important that we learn to express ourselves, to tell our story, but also listen to the stories of others and learn from that.
Sonia Sanchez, she once said about protesting, if people didn't protest, no one would know that people cared. And so it's important to raise your voice, to be visible. That's why, for me, the work that I do is also part of my activism, because if I can be part of helping to facilitate students' activism, helping to facilitate their desire to be engaged, to do it in a way that's ethical and responsible. If I can help do that, then I feel like I've got my hand in things a little bit, and that makes me feel really useful.
In this past year and recent years, we've seen Black filmmakers and directors, writers, screenwriters make interesting strides and really offer a more complex vision of what Black life is like in the United States, both past and present. And my hope is that will not only entertain people, but help the culture at large.
What do you stand for? Who are you? Get to know yourself. What are your values? What do you stand for? And how do you have an impact on the world with that? I think that's important at any time.
The tool is in folks' hands more than even before to be connected to what's happening. And I would just say, grab a friend and go do something.